Hey guys, if you don't already know, Update 20 in Blox Fruits has finally arrived. The biggest part of this update was definitely the sea event, so this video will be for the people who want to know more about the new sea events. Alright, let's begin. So before we get into the sea event mechanics and how it works, I'll firstly explain the new revamped boats and what I recommend using when grinding sea events. The dinghy boat now looks a bit cooler than before, but it's still the worst boat in the game. The sloop boats have much more detail into their structure, and feel a bit faster than before. The brigade boat looks absolutely insane when compared to how it looked before. Here's a comparison to how it looked before, to how it looks now. Yeah, there is so much more detail into the new boats. Now, the final boat, from the basic boat dealer, Grand Brigade looks absolutely insane, and I don't even think I need to say why. The boats from the luxury boat dealer look completely different from before. The free boat from this NPC looks so much better, as before it was just a metal boat with an engine. The Enforcer boat got completely changed, and it's now a flying boat. The Enforcer boat is now called the Sentinel, and you can't make it fly, it flies automatically when you start sailing. Now this boat doesn't fly that high, it just hovers, but it's still cool. The final two boats are Frankie's and Swan ship. Both of the boats have the same ship speed as each other, and look so cool. Now those are all the revamped boats, so let's move on to explaining the sea event now. When you start to get away from islands, you will enter the sea events. Once you get far away from the islands, rocks will start coming up from the sea, and that means you've entered the sea event. I wouldn't really call it a sea event, more like just entering the dangerous sea, which is where sea beasts and the new monsters now spawn. When you enter the dangerous sea, your compass will start saying the danger levels of the sea. The farther you go, the more dangerous it gets. There are 6 danger levels of the sea, and they are none, low, medium, high, extreme, crazy, and question marks. The further you go into the sea, which is away from islands, the higher the danger levels get. Once you reach high, sea beasts can now spawn. I don't think they spawn in danger levels lower than high, since no sea beasts spawn for me in those levels. Also, when you reach the question mark danger zone, your screen becomes dark, and you can barely see anything. This is apparently where the new Leviathan raid boss spawns. This boss is for sure in the game, since if you go to the top of the new island, this NPC will tell you clues in the origin of the Leviathan boss. We don't have much information on how to spawn this boss, and it's kind of like the Race V4 puzzle all over again. We have no idea what we're doing. Now that we've covered the danger levels of the sea, let's move on to the rough sea. The rough sea is a random sea event which happens when you are sailing through the danger zones. When you're in the rough sea, it'll spawn lightning which damages players, and minor damage to your boat health. Now from my experience and what I've gathered, sea monsters seem to spawn more often in the rough sea. To leave the rough sea, just sail forward, and after around 10 to 15 seconds of sailing forward, you will exit the rough sea. Now that's the rough sea explained, so let's move on to the new sea monsters. With this new update, there are a bunch of new monsters that can spawn in the sea, so I'm going to cover all of them and the danger levels they require to spawn. So, one of the new sea events in this game is the ghost ship. From my experience, ghost ships spawn in danger levels above medium, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. The ghost ships have very similar mechanics to the ship raids, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. If you're familiar with the ship raids, the ghost ship is just like that, except it just spawns one big ship and no other smaller ships. If you aren't familiar with ship raids, the ghost ship is a brigade-looking boat that will attack your boat till you either sail out of distance or till you defeat it. Upon defeat, it'll drop 75 fragments, and 3x fool's gold. The next sea monsters are sharks and piranhas. These two sea monsters spawn in danger levels low and higher. Sharks drop the new shark tooth materials, and the piranhas drop the new electric wings material. Alright, the next sea monster is the terror shark, and if I'm being honest, this is the most annoying raid boss I've ever fought. You cannot outrun this thing, and it will not stop chasing you and attacking you till you die, or it dies. Upon defeat, this raid boss has a chance to the new material Terrorizing Mutant Tooth. Also, if you have the monster magnet material, and you find a terror shark with 195,000 health, it'll drop the new shark anchor sword. Also, you can also damage terror sharks with N1 attacks, but it'll do less damage. And now, the rarest sea monster, it's the Leviathan. I couldn't find any footage of someone finding the Leviathan, so there's a high chance no one has even spawned it. I don't have much information on this boss due to no one being able to find it. This boss can only spawn in the question mark danger levels, and nothing lower than that. And this boss drops the Cull's Brain, which is needed to get the new Sanguine Arts fighting style. But I can't confirm if this information is reliable. We'll just have to wait till someone spawns the Leviathan boss. Now anyway, there's one last sea event, and that's the Treasure Island Sea event. The sea event can happen only in the 3rd sea, and spawns in low or higher danger levels. The Treasure Islands just have a few chests, and that's it, so there's nothing much to say about it. Anyway, that's everything to say about the sea events. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you found this video useful, please make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, bye.